Here's something most buyers don't realize about Wellen Park. It's not just about which community you choose. It's about choosing the right type of home inside the community, because I'm seeing more and more people move here, absolutely love this location, but realize pretty quickly they picked the wrong kind of home or have second thoughts about the builder. So today I'm going to walk you through a section that's starting to stand out for a very specific reason: the way these homes are designed, and especially the builder behind them. Plus, I'll tell you how I personally guarantee you'll never make a mistake on any home you buy through me. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether this is just a contender or the builder that you want building your dream home. Here's the exterior of that gorgeous Tidland model. As you can see, as expected here in Palmera, you've got tile roofs, paver driveways, cute little front porch here, lots of gables, 3 gables in the front, gives it that unique look. And I enjoy a nice little porch to sit out on, and for the sun protection. So you're greeted with a lot of open space and some really beautiful ceilings here in the foyer entry. Just to my left, you see a more formal dining, but check out all the possibilities for ceilings here. Lots of natural light. These 2 columns frame the great room. Got your built-in fireplace. Once again, the ceiling are gorgeous in here. 4 sliders to open up for seasonal outdoor living. And look at this nice island. So all the possible upgrades. Look at all that countertop. It's really, I love it when they can frame these stoves here with natural light windows. You can see we are a gas community here. And you've got your built-in ovens, butler pantry, one here, plenty of room, and I like this tucked away. Look at all this space here underneath the staircase, really cool. Air-conditioned space is a premium here in our Florida homes. I'll give you a quick look from the kitchen sink. Really nice staircase. And let's peek back here. This is where your 3-car garage, where you're going to come in from. More natural light. Have a seat, take your shoes off, put your bags down, groceries, all that good stuff. And there is your laundry. Good size, a nice folding area. Once again, natural light is a plus. So as we head over, this is where we came in. There's a nice bedroom up front. Look at those windows, nice. Lots of light. And of course it's an ensuite. So lots of space here. Natural light in every corner, and a really good size walk-in closet for this secondary bedroom. It'll make a great mother-in-law or staycation for some friends and family. I like how that's around the corner. I'll show you your primary here in just a second. Want to peek outside and take a look at this outdoor space. Beautiful. Now this is the way to live. Got your Florida kitchen, easy access door from the pool area. Put your TV up, hang out by the pool all day, or in the evening, have your coffee right off of your primary bedroom. You're still under truss, all part of the house, and a lot of great lots here. Look at that. Seamless, no bars, seamless screen Lanai. That's available as well. So yes, this can all slide and pocket in. And we'll head back in to the other side of the home right now. So nice guest hall bath. What's nice about this, you do have the shower, so you can come in right off of the pool door. And then back here, to make it a family room. You can see they've got it shown as a game room, but it's a really nice, intimate room back here with great views and lots of natural light. So let's head over. Cool little barn door in glass with opaque windows. So let's head back here. There I am heading right into the primary. Large 8-foot, 9-foot tall windows, sliders, beautiful ceilings. As I said, have your morning coffee right off of your primary bedroom. And then here, separate vanities, very nicely done. The linen closet over there, natural light. A lot of couples like that separation. I've heard that many times. And then you've got a nice walk-in shower. And let me show you your huge closet. There you go, folks. That is nice. So we're talking over 3,000 square feet. I'll give you the exact square footage and the details on the pricing on this in a minute. But something to think about. Now let's head upstairs because there's a lot more to see. So just on the second story here, right at the top of the stairs, check these ceiling heights out. You even got cove ceilings here on the second story. Plenty of natural light. Let me show you around here from the staircase. Tucked in the back here, you've got a nice wet bar, chiller, everything you need upstairs. May not come back down. Very nice. Very, very beautiful living area. Let me show you it from the other side because it really is just cozy. A great feel, very high ceilings. So you tuck back here, you got more closet space, but look at this bedroom. Once again, cove ceilings, beautiful views. Something to wake up from. This is a guest room I'd like to stay in. And look at the size. The closet once again. So basically like a secondary primary. Right upstairs with your bathroom right here. Full bath, quite impressive. Let's tell you a little bit more about that as we head on out. So before we go any further, let me give you a little bit of context, or you just might completely miss what makes this section different. So Palmera sits inside Wellen Park, which has quickly become one of the most talked about master plan communities in the entire Suncoast. You've got downtown Wellen Park with all the restaurants, the events, the overall lifestyle. And that's usually what draws people in. They get curious about Wellen Park, but once buyers get here, the next decision becomes a lot more specific. What kind of home actually fits how you want to live here in Wellen Park? And what does the community itself actually offer? And that's where this section starts to separate itself. Now, if this is the first time that we're meeting, my name is Rob Rovnak, and I've been privileged to live here in the Sarasota area for over 30 years. And every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you wanting to know about the area. So whether you're moving in 1 week or in 1 year, reach out today so we can help you save tons of time and especially money. So let's talk about the homes themselves, because although the community is amazing, nothing works unless you fall in love with the home. So unlike a lot of traditional single-family homes, these are designed more around the low maintenance lock and leave style, that kind of living. And that might not sound like a big deal at first, but a lot of buyers relocating here, they really love the fact that they can do that. That becomes one of their biggest deciding factors. Because when you really think about it, you didn't move to Florida to spend your time maintaining a house. You moved here for the lifestyle, to be outside and enjoy it. And that's exactly what this builder leaned into with this product. Now, this is where I'll go ahead and reveal the builder because it matters a lot in this case. These homes are built by Homes By Towne. And if you've been in the Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch area for any amount of time, there's a good chance that you've already seen some of their work without even realizing it. They've built in several well-known communities throughout the years, decades even, including places like Lake House Cove and their new one at Shellstone over in Waterside in Lakewood Ranch, which if you've watched some of my videos before, you already know that they've developed a pretty strong reputation for some of the more upscale lifestyle-focused homes. And honestly, you can start seeing some of that same DNA here in Palmera. Now, obviously, Shellstone and Palmera are two different locations, about a half hour apart, and two different price structures. But what's interesting is that Homes By Towne tends to bring a very similar design philosophy into both communities. They're certainly not trying to be the cheapest builder in the marketplace. And they're typically not trying to cram a maximum number of bedrooms into the smallest footprint either. What they focus on more is how the home actually feels once you're living in it. So when you walk through these homes, you start noticing things like the larger kitchen islands that become more of a gathering space, dedicated dens and flex spaces instead of simply adding just another bedroom, bigger sliders opening up to the lanai, and that layout really leans into that Florida indoor-outdoor lifestyle. Even the architecture tends to feel a little bit more elevated and intentional compared to what we see from a lot of high-volume builders. And this is where Palmera and the value conversation gets going, because if you compare Homes by Towne here in Palmera versus some of the pricing that you'll see in Shellstone and over in Waterside, you may actually feel like you're getting a very similar overall design philosophy and the lifestyle feel without having to push quite as high on price. And that part is what makes these homes stand out right now. Because for some buyers, Palmera starts to feel like a way of getting a little bit more of that upscale Homes by Towne style, while still staying slightly below some of that higher Waterside price points. And honestly, this is one of those builders where buyers usually know pretty quickly whether it connects with them on an emotional level or not, because these homes tend to feel a little bit more personal, a little bit more design driven, and a little less production oriented. Here is the exterior of this rather spacious outrigger model. Once again, the 3-car garage, the tile, the pavers, the bricks, very nice. A little bit of stonework here on the front, and a really nice recessed opening here. Look at the ceilings in here. Gorgeous entrance. Once again, stunning entrance views. Beautiful foyers, what you'd expect. Just to my left, we've got 2 bedrooms. Let me show you the size of those. And this one has a really nice walk-in closet. And this gives you a different idea. Cove ceiling here, backlit. Really nice. And across the hall, similar. And this one as well. Similar walk-in closets. The floors are immaculate throughout the whole house. There is your, look at your floor-to-ceiling tile in the secondary bath. Now this can be a cozy little area, whatever you want to make it, kind of showing it as a quick sitting area. Could be formal dining, whatever you need. The lighting, that is some deep set cove ceilings, really nice office space, built-ins, glass doors, sliders. And all that space along the, so let me show you your pantry back here in the corner. And then your views from the kitchen as you entertain. This little built-in nook here. Do that throughout. Like how they have the built-in seating. That's a really smart design. And let's peek back here off the pool door. And another full bath. And some lighting. Gorgeous. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, it is another secondary pantry. Very nicely done. So while we're here, let's peek out onto the patio. Like those pavers. Once again, your indoor-outdoor space is enormous here. Let me show you the ceiling. That is your house. That's all under your truss. So this is a really large covered lanai. So this really is indoor-outdoor living. Got that infinity view that you can get. This way it eliminates all those beams, and it's just a seamless view right out the back. Your pool. Let me show you the house. So this is all indoor outdoor space, all covered under your roof. It's truly gorgeous. So let's go look at that primary See what we find. Back over inside. Different views. And back here. Wow, look at that window. Sliders with a big centerpiece. So that's just like one big glass opening with views to the pool in the back. Good morning. That is a way to wake up. And let me show you this really gorgeous bathroom. Tucked away, shower in the corner. Once again, separate vanities. Really smart, plenty of natural light here. And then a separation of closets as well. So we're just bathing in white. The light and everything, the camera's having a hard time adjusting to all this white light from floors to ceilings. Really high ceilings throughout. Just a really cozy and stately primary. So now that we've seen that section of the house, we've got one little more corner, and I like how everything is separated off to the corners. Not on top, not off of one wing. Separated very nicely in this one. And here's your 3-car garage. And tucked back here, your laundry room. Plenty of natural light. And there's your AC. Nicely tucked away, quiet in the corner. You're getting something that feels more upgraded and thoughtfully designed, but without jumping all the way up into some of those higher price points that you're going to see in other parts of Wellen Park or in Waterside. And for a lot of buyers, that combination is hard to find right now. But this is also where we need to talk about the part that most people overlook, because this is not the right fit for everyone. And this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of this video. If your biggest priority is simply maximizing square footage for the absolute lowest price, this may end up leaning you towards a different builder. Now let's quickly peek into the tremendous lifestyle and resort style amenities, from pool to clubhouse to great lawn to dedicated buildings for gym, yoga, and workout classes, along with tons of racquetball courts and tennis courts, walking trails, and endless biking. If you're someone who wants a big yard, a ton of separation from your neighbors for more of that northern traditional feel, this probably isn't going to be it. But if you're the type of buyer who's thinking, I want something newer, brand new, and I want it to look great, and I don't want to deal with a ton of maintenance, and I actually want to enjoy everything that Wellen Park has to offer, that's where this starts to make a little bit more sense. Now let's talk about the numbers, because I know for most people, that's where the decision really gets made. So at the time of filming, these homes start with a base price of between $700,000 and $900,000. But once you add a lot and the design, they are generally falling into the 1.1 to 1.2 range, just depending on the size, the upgrades, and the location that you pick. And then you're going to have your HOA fees. Those are layered in, which cover that lower maintenance lifestyle that we talked about earlier. Here's a look at those. So this means no weekend spent seeding, feeding, and cutting lawns, plus the irrigation is included. And this is important because when you factor that into your monthly payment, this either starts to feel like a smart trade-off or it's going to push you a lot closer to just looking at other options. So here's the bottom line. In Palmera, it isn't about the biggest home or certainly not about the cheapest option. It's about being a very specific type of lifestyle that you want inside Wellen Park. And a savvy buyer who knows Homes by Towne's quality, not the buyer who only just wants maybe the most house for the least amount of money. That's not these. They're trying to appeal to the buyer who wants the home to feel a little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more lifestyle driven, and a little bit more connected to the way that people are actually living in Florida right now. And buyers who understand that going in are usually the ones who end up the happiest here. And the ones who don't, well, don't worry, we have options for you too. So subscribe and tap those notifications so you don't miss out on those. So if you're looking into Wellen Park right now and trying to figure out where you actually fit, this is exactly the kind of conversation that we should be having. Because once you narrow down the right type of home for you, everything else just starts to fall into place and it's a lot easier. So reach out, schedule a call on my calendar, and we'll walk you through your options so you can make the right decision the very first time. Not to mention we'll have lots of fun and save you a ton of money when you walk in with us. For Living and Buying in Sarasota, I'm Rob Rovnak. Check out these other videos on Palmera.